Please tell me you'll fight this fight.
Hey, I'm Melissa from Superchick, and you could hear it all at hearitfirst.com.
Your light, I need you to breathe into my life.
2 years ago, decided I wanted to sponsor more kids because one of the issues with putting these little packets on tables every day is that you see these little faces every day. And so I have this thing about every tour that we do where we're working with Compassion, I'll probably sponsor another child because there'll be this one that doesn't get sponsored or something. But there are these two little faces that I kept looking at, a little girl and a little boy, Mumbere and Janet. And they were both from Uganda, around the same age. And I just kept thinking, and I'm like, okay, if they're there by the end of tour, then I'll sponsor them. And they were there. So I started sponsoring them. And then a year and a half ago, Compassion was doing a trip to Uganda. And Stephanie was like, do you want to go? And I was like, absolutely, yes, I want to go. And that trip was amazing and incredible and overwhelming and so much to process that I think there's still times that I was still processing recently exactly what I saw on that trip. And you know, what Compassion tries to do when they take you on a trip is let you get to see firsthand, you know, what you're doing out there, how it's being put into effect in kids' lives. And I got to meet my two kids on that trip, which was amazing, and see a lot of Compassion projects. And the end of that trip was just a lot of shock and trying to compute everything that had, you know, gone on. And it was amazing and incredible, and I think probably helped in sharing presentations in front of people to really let people see where my heart is at with it. But then again this fall they came and said, hey, we're going to Uganda again. Would anybody in the band like to go? And I was like, well, I want to go again and see my kids. And then Trisha, my sister, she said she wanted to go, which I knew, like I've been really wanting the other members to get to go on a trip and see what's out there and what it's like. And so she came on this. And for anybody that has family, to be able to experience a third world country and something that we really have no idea until we've been there and seen it firsthand, to get to experience it with, like, your sister is a pretty amazing and life-changing experience. And I got to be there with her, seeing her see it for the first time and knowing the thoughts that were going through her head and the shock and the, you know, just like, wow, like this is real, this exists. But for me, this second time was one of the most beautiful weeks of my life. Like, this time I got to really immerse myself in the whole experience. Like, you know, the shock was gone. I'd seen this. I knew there was poor. I knew there were people, families with 12 people living in one-room huts. And I knew there were grandmas saying to me, I don't know if I'm going to be able to feed my kids next week. I knew that happened. This time it was like, okay, I know this. Now what do I get to, like, where's the hope? Like, when do I get to see that? And that's what the week was about for me. Compassion started with each project, each different organization that they have within their organization. And I really got to see firsthand, like, I got to play with the kids, I got to talk to the people, I got to be in the homes and really understand how compassion changes completely the life of a child somewhere. And not just that child, but it affects their whole family. And then I got to see my two kids again. And the day that I got to see them, definitely a defining heart moment for me. They do this thing, a bunch of people were meeting their sponsored kids, and they had them all waiting down in this little line by a tree, and they wanted to introduce us one at a time, you know, to the kids coming in. And I'm walking down, and in my head I'm like, do my kids really remember me? Like, they met me a couple years ago. What's this gonna be like? And as I'm walking, all of a sudden I just see these two kids, like, full out running towards me, like with these smiles on their faces. And they came up to me and they grabbed me and just about knocked me over and were just so excited and so happy. And my whole day with them was like that, like the experience. And that's all because I've been something positive in their life. And so now when I talk to people and they're like, well, but really, is it a personal thing? You know, it's just an organization. it's every bit as personal as you want it to be, because there are kids over there that when you sponsor them and they get your letters, they hold on to them sometimes for the rest of their lives. There was one girl that we met, her name was Osi, and she had been in the program since she was 4. She had lost both of her parents, ended up getting sponsored, and she had gone through all of the child development process, and then she was in college studying to be a lawyer. And I asked her, you know, how did the letters affect your life from your sponsor? And she's like, I mean, the people I lived with, we all read it together. It was an event that we all got together to do, and we put them in a binder in like paper, or in the plastic things in the binder so that they wouldn't get messed up. And she's like, I have that binder with me at college, and I look through those letters every day because it reminds me of what someone did for my life, how they changed my life. And that's what it's all about. Like, that's what compassion does. That's what their heart is to go in and really change a person's life from whatever point they're at and give them hope for a future. And this girl's going to go on to be a lawyer and to change things in her country. And that, to me, that I can be part of anything that would do that for children is a blessing to me more than I think I could ever express.